Alright guys, welcome back to the Red Bull Wololo Legacy Tournament weekly, July weekly qualifier number 3. We've got Donato here on the Delhi, and on the Abbasids we've got Carnage, he's in the blue. So we've got the two berries civs, the two early mill to get berries civs. Delay your sheep gathering. So where things play a little bit differently, Delhi playing around the mosque, and otherwise they've got the standard landmark system, while Abbasid, they've only got a second landmark building. So the House of Wisdom itself is a landmark that you then get all the age ups in, which makes it stronger. So Abbasid confirmed least BM loser civ, because they're never gonna be able to like hide some cheeky landmark over in the corner on you. But I don't know if Carnage is looking to be the loser today. A number of sheep there for Donato. Carnage just got the one scout. Looks like Donato's gone for 2. Carnage has also gone for 2. Almost never see one scout get used these days. It's just too hard, because people are that good with the scouts. If they've got one over you, you're just never going to get any sheep. And you know, as Rush, you've got to go up to a 3rd scout these days, or we've had to for a little while now, but everyone's always inclined to go up to 2 against them, if not a 3rd. Well, even in all the other matchups these days, everyone's just using 2. So use 2 scouts, guys. I don't give a fuck what rank you are, use 2 scouts. Get used to it. And hey, if you're in the lower half of the spectrum and you've been using 1, you'll probably start climbing just based off that. Because not only is this sheep game really important, it's much harder than an AoE 2, where you're just basically, as a rule of thumb, going to get a set number of sheep around your base, and so is your opponent, and that's pretty much it. There's almost going to be no sheep out on the map itself to go for. So you essentially do like a macro scout run, and then just scout your opponent, and that's it. I guess pretty much all the other age games, really. Just sort of figuring out where your food sources are going to be at. But in this, obviously, you know, you get fuckloads of sheep. And you back it up by figuring out what the fuck your opponent's doing. So Carnage is even not going home, because he doesn't really feel that he needs to unless he loses the scouts as such. He just wants to see what his opponent's doing. So Donato engaging Carnage's scout there, but at the same time, while the 2 of them are focusing him, Carnage is actually just figuring out his opponent's build, how many vills are on each resource. Donato can obviously look to do the same now. Donato looking to try and drag a wolf into his opponent's base. You get inside town center range, it doesn't really do anything, but I suppose the idea is you can try and drag it to the gold. But both our players, really good sheep count that they're not really worried about even going for at the moment. That wolf even, I think he's stopped chasing. Scouts harassing the gold villages. And they're just going to make gathering a little bit awkward for them. Not really going to get any value out of that as such. other than slightly denying like 2 gold. Carnage has got his fresh food stuffs upgraded, and we're going for a second town centre. Looks like Donato going for a more pressure-oriented opening. He's got stables to start with, and he doesn't look to have gathered any stone as of yet. And he's going to go for blacksmith, maybe even going to opt to add a second one because Delhi going to get free upgrades that take longer to train. Abbasid, a bit more conventional with most of their upgrades, so obviously with the House of Wisdom they got a fuckload of unique upgrades all in the one place that rely on getting the prerequisite wing and age up to get. So for now, you know, you can get that one, you get the single tech, and then castle you can get 4, you know, you get an imp, you can get everything. I mean, you can get everything in 3 wings, sorry, in all but 1 wing. So 9 techs in total. Carnage going for the second town centre. Second blacksmith here. Like I said, for Donato he'll be making use of all these free upgrades, but also relying on the fact that he'll, with Carnage playing a safe build like this, he's also fairly free to just try and get tech upgrade over it, advantage over him. Try and pick off something here, but Carnage been using the scouts to try and take down the horseman just that little bit faster, in case it saves a hit or allows him to get the kill. So Donato willing to trade horseman v villager for the moment because it at least stops his opponent from getting his second town centre out for free and really getting a Vill lead. Meanwhile, his own eco back at home unimpacted by everything going on. So as much as he's losing more value in these fights, especially now that Carnage is just going to start adding a handful of spearmen. Probably not going to add too many, just ward off the initial pressure. Actually, he's only made the 1. Which, Donato, he's forced out the barracks in his mind, and he's forced out the 1 spearman. Like Carnage is getting the upgrade to hardened as well. For now, Carnage not really adding any more. Oh no, he is. Is he going to add some more? We'll have to wait and see. It's Donato for now. Looks like he stopped production of the horseman, but he's got 4 in tow there, so now he can actually pick off 2 or 3 vills at once. He's going to start contesting the sacred sites. Being Delhi, he can do this while his opponent can't really respond without going to castle age first. You know, at best Carnage can basically interrupt the sacred site getting captured or basically convert it back to neutral, but he can't actually capture it for now. Golden Age for Carnage, so he's got a bit of a gather rate boost there. It's a bit like the Rus one for food, but it benefits everything. And on top of that, you know, you get insane benefits alongside it the further you get into the tech. So Golden Age, Carnage, you see all these +1s. Everything close enough to the town centre. I mean, close enough to the House of Wisdom contributes towards this. Or Donato with his scholars able to really speed up this upgrade time, and if he puts them in the structures he can actually double their train speeds, so it doesn't impact their research speeds in the same fashion. You know, that all comes out of the mosque. So when you are researching upgrades, it's helpful to ungarrison the scholar and put them back in the mosque and then move them back into the production facility when the upgrade finishes, if you really want to get optimal about it. But we're not all AoEO players, so we don't all notice things like that. So Carnage had a Camel Archer first, because the real boon is it does intimidate melee from the enemy. Oh, melee horseman units from the enemy and reduce their damage by 20%. So both these players are going to be able to make use of that because they've got the two South Asian, Middle Eastern civs. Two Islamic empires of the game, and they're fairly similar tech trees in some senses, and obviously there is a bit of unique flavour to them as well, because I mean, you know, compositionally they're pretty similar, and with what they've got access to, really until Delhi gets access to the Ellies, like the unit choices are going to be very similar. Both got early access to spearmen, late access to man-at-arms, late access to knights, a standard archer unit, access to both the camel units. But Delhi able to capture these sites and wall them in with infantry, while Abbasid, in the meanwhile, there's the slightly stronger conventional macro setup. Be quite a similar playstyle for Rus players. Carnage taking out the gate in this because it's the most expensive part of the wall and forces Donato to not only have to rebuild the wall but then put a gate on it again if he wants to actually make use of it. So it's, you know, if you are going to muck around taking segments of the wall out to punish your opponent, it's definitely the way to go. Carnage just going to wait for the convert to end, not putting anything at risk. He'll run in and take the scholar. Just in case he wasn't able to kill it with charge or arrow fire or the total of the two. You know, if you're not sure, don't risk it. Risk it for the biscuit, bro. No, don't be silly, cover you will. The scholar making it home just in time there. So Donato having taken a quick castle age behind this with compounded the defender down. So Carnage in the meanwhile still happy to sit in feudal for the minute and just take a fight with a slightly bigger army. Other than the fact that there is a good number of spears and now some men-at-arms being added in, he is going to certainly be favoured in this fight, but Donato, like I said, he's got man-at-arms tech now, so he can look at trying to hold from here. He can start sneaking in upgrade advantage and even add knights. Add a defensive keep right now, and I think it might finish off, but Carnage quick on the ball to get his camel archers in tow, and he's going to start working away at the villager count. So Carnage is up to 60 vills and 32 military, while Donato's at 34 vills and 7 military at the moment. And while he does have this nice defensive boon, and he's going to get a couple of kills on the way out here, it's a pretty big expense. Any civ other than Delhi, you know, stone and gold you're generally not going to get the upgrades for, so they tend to be a bit slower to actually acquire, you know, and then on top of that, you've got so many free gold sources in the game. They sell on for virtually every civ, on top of all the neutral ones like relics and sacreds. You know, stone is definitely the most premium resource most of the time, and particularly for Mongols, but even for all the other civs. So they're going to keep, it's a bit of a cost. But the benefit is village fortresses, keeps act like town centers, including production, pop cap, and access to techs. So a little benefit for Delhi, and it's not going to cost Donato anything to add this, but it does take a bit of time. And meanwhile, Carnage can put a bit of pressure on him, snipe some vills, just kiting the man-at-arms. So Donato's not looking to overextend there, he's just really trying to block for any of the villagers if he could. Carnage really going to look at taking the early mid-game map control here. So Donato with that quick castle. But he's had to invest in a keep on top of that. And then wait for village fortresses to really get a second town center out here. He has controlled 3 relics. So he's done well to get possession of all the ones that have been fairly easy for him to control, while Carnage has really been camping this one. And this one over in the far corner is going to be a real tough sell for Donato to get a hold of. So Carnage just trying to keep the army occupied while he shifts around, try and hit the back of Donato's base, but bearing in mind, it's largely just the structures here. You know, Carnage is just trying to take this fairly safe, sacred of Donato's off him. Maybe try and force a poor trade for Donato if you can. So a Lancer for a Camel Archer is pretty even in terms of value. Spear's going to do well against the Lancers, but the Man-at-Arms obviously going to be quite favoured against the Spears, and really under the threat by the fact that Carnage has all this ranged in his arsenal. What we're seeing, upgrade to Vet Horseman there. Like I said, Donato probably needs to get the Scholar into the Mosque just to speed that up that little bit, because I mean at the moment it's just wasted sitting in the stables while nothing's producing, sorry. While he's researching and not producing, I should say. So Donato, pulling in the what's left of his food reserves. He's got a lot of villagers over on this, and he's going to have to gate up and expand out and add another layer of walls anyway to reap the benefit a little bit later on. So Carnage will be looking to go to Castle Age now that he's really sort of solidified his position here in the Feudal Age. I mean, Donato, 34 vills and 22 military, and the village fortresses upgrade really only just kicking in now. Carnage now going to be catching up in terms of the tech, and he's certainly got a much bigger comp if he can pick off these scholars. This is really rough for Donato because he's then got to replace them if he wants to have a nice ball of healers for his next composition. There's a bit of gold for him to sacrifice there. Well, yeah, he's already got a tower alley. Probably didn't really need to move out there. At the same time, he has slipped some knights by Carnage, so he might be able to snipe some of these vills, because Carnage is doing a little bit of distance gathering on the food here. So Carnage is going to have to send his spears a little bit further north to deal with that. Maybe even rally the incoming ones out of his barracks back up to that corner, just to try and pick off the knights a little bit faster, because they can really start to work away at this. Nice vill lead. He's got his up to 86 vills and 49 military, sorry, to 37 and 17. So Donato's got an eco half the size of Carnage's at the moment. So we're going to see a mosque for Carnage because he wants to actually get access to his relics. They're quite pretty structures. The Islamic Indian themed ones. And the opposite Arabian ones. So Donato trying to maintain control of the sacred site back at home, but this little expansion onto the deer not worked out for him because Carnage just wiped out that mill. So Carnage just got a heck of a score lead at the moment. Donato. Oh, slipped a knight past. Carnage has brought his spears forward. Donato's going to wait slightly before he moves in because he knows the longer he leaves it, the safer the knight's going to be before it can take out, you know, 3 or 4 vills, 5 or 6 instead. Carnage is probably going to do this. Oh, Donato's probably going to move in with this just to minimize the control Carnage is going to have of this situation, because once he moves in here, I think it's going to be very tough for Donato, who's got, you know, like half his population at the moment. Yes, and a knight. Oh, I think, is Donato bringing him home? That's a bit of a waste. He could have actually... Oh, that's going to be rough for Donato if he's just select all armied him. Yeah, I think Donato probably... Really, once those spears... Once Carnage didn't realise and had the spears that passed, Donato could have got a lot of value out of that. He could have forced so many vills to garrison, or panic, or even pick off a handful of them. The price of controlling one knight. So that keep is going to eat it here. The tower is going to help a little bit. Carnage has so many camel archers at the moment. Zone keep. Maybe a lot of pain for Donato if he can finish it off. The Vill's coming in to try and take it down, but this means Donato is going to be basically sacrificing 40 Vills if they stick around and this doesn't work out for him. And he's going to bleed nearly 10 of them there. Carnage moving forward with the Trebs because he wants to start chipping away at the keep, which as we can see, he can now start training Vills out of it. These guys now under a lot of threat, and Donato is at 46 Vills. Carnage is at 110 at the moment. Got a Wolf assisting with a bit of raiding for Donato at the moment. Carnage is yet to field the counter to this, which is just map awareness. I'm just kidding, he's in the driver's seat at the moment. I think he might be closing out this one from here. Vill, it's probably going to go down. Actually, GG is called before the Vill goes down, I believe. So that's Carnage versus Donato, game number 1, guys.